So, I took a lot of notes and I was very passionate with my review. I'm going to go through some of my annotations of A Court of Wings and Ruin, and they're all over the place. So, I'm going to go through these slowly. So, Feyre asks Rhys to advise him of any changes. Then Rhys doesn't advise her of any changes, but also no one consulted with Amren of going to the Bone Carver. Eris knows about Feyre's powers and is keeping it from his dad to hopefully be king, and then nothing happens with this information. Nothing happens with this information. And that was one of my biggest qualms about this book. Lucian telling everyone Eris is a snake, but then Rhysand saying that one thing. Let me get to that page because that page was not it. Let me read it verbatim. If Amarantha offered us a slim shot at survival, Rhysand said, his glaze unflinching, then I would not give a shit that she made me fuck her for all those years. Cassian flinched. The entire room flinched because this is fucking weird. If Amarantha showed up at the door right now, Rhysand snarled, pointing towards the foyer entry, and said she could buy us a chance at defeating Hybern, at keeping all of you alive, I would thank the fucking cauldron. But why? That's weird. That's weird. We don't I don't like that. I didn't like that. I was like, "Oh, no, no, no. Why is this a thing? Why are we why did he say something like that?" I was liking Rhysand in the second book, and then after he said that, I was like, I don't know if I'm okay with Rhysand anymore. Like, am I gonna hate this? Am I gonna hate this? And then, just like the toxic person that I am, I put, at least Rhysand admits he made a bad call. Chapter 27 and 28 was a hot mess in distress. That, like, the whole miscommunication thing in that whole area was just so frustrating. And then Cassian and Feyre disassociating after terrible choices. The terrible choices that Rhysand had about, like, him deciding to make that comment, and like Cassian having to be like, "Hey, you okay, Feyre?" And then more knows that Feyre's hurting. More knows that Feyre's hurting. And more just like brushes it to the side. She's like, yeah, I'm so used to people treating me like this. I'm like, what do you mean? This is one from the meeting. Baron is racist and high key, very racist. And then the next page, I put racist and misogynistic. And then he says something racist and misogynistic again. And one of my comments that I put is, just say you're trash, bro. And then the next like few paragraphs down, I put, please stop talking, Baron. You're being really annoying. And then that one scene where Nesta defends her man, I'm like, defend your man, Nesta. Defend your man. And then Feyre like basically attacks the Baron. I'm like, fuck him up, Feyre, even though they baited you to show your powers. And then Cassie's head over heels with Nesta, and I put it like right here. Chapter 46, aka Feyre pops off. Finally, my time has come. And the reason I say this is because after like this page, after that whole fight scene that they have in the Autumn Court, they just forget. Like Feyre just forgets that she has abilities. And she doesn't really use them. She uses them when they go to the summer court and to fight against those people that broke into the library. But other than that, she doesn't use her abilities until this point. And I was like, yes. And then finally, Rhysand is like, I'm gonna defend my lady. That's your guys' high lady. You guys can't be talking to her. So then I put, yeah, Shadow Daddy, because that's the Shadow Daddy we know. That's the Shadow Daddy we love. The one that defends his lady. But I was also okay with this because he's like, I don't really need to do anything at this point. I've been doing everything for a little bit of time, and Feyre's popping off, so I'm gonna just let her pop off because I don't want to be caught in the middle of this problem, and I don't want to get reprimanded later when I get home. And this one just felt a little bit too relevant to the times, where I put these two lines should be an ideology that should be praised and advocated for. And the lines are, you may hate us, I don't care if you do, but I do care if you let innocents suffer and die, at least stand for them, your people. For Hybern will make an example of them, of all of us. The past is the past. What I care about is the road ahead. What I care about is making sure no children, fair or human, are harmed. You have been entrusted with protecting this land. She scanned the faces around her. How can you not fight for it? And that's the part where I was just like, why? This is, that's literally what the times are about right now. And that's what the quotes that we should be using. And then this one, it's like, Feyre grows a backbone. But my sis has a backbone. She just decides not to use it. And it's frustrating because it's like, sis, I want to see you pop off. I want to see you get angry. These people, these men are frustrating. I need to see you just go crazy. And then I put Lucian is bastard born. Lucian is Helian's son. Because SJM just drops this shit out of nowhere. She just goes, "Oh yeah, he's Helian's son." I'm like, "Wait!" I literally had to double take. I'm like, "Did I miss something?" And then I had to reread that area because I was like, "I feel like I missed something," but I didn't. I didn't miss something. It's just that's how it was written, and I was like, "Oh well, damn." And then around, let me get to this chapter. Cassian disregarded as he landed in the middle of the enemy forces, sundering our lines, and unleashed himself. Nesta inhaled in a sharp, high gasp. Cassian and Nesta sitting in a tree. I was like, ooh, they gonna get it on. And then Feyre goes, who I had to hunt down and ask about the location of Hybern's army, the serial. And I'm just like, yes, she's gonna call the serial, aka my reason to keep going. Chapter 57 is when she's like, I'm gonna go track the serial down. And I'm so excited. And then chapter 58, aka the death of an icon, because it was the death of an icon. Literally, the serial and Feyre are just having a normal conversation, and in the middle of it, I Anthony just shows the fuck up, and she goes, I'm just gonna make both your guys' lives just miserable, and she unalives the cereal, and I was just so freaking pissed, and I was about to cry, and I didn't because Ianthe showed up right after she injured him, and I was like, Ianthe giving bad vibes everywhere she goes, because that's all she does. That's all she knows how to do. All she knows how to do is give bad vibes. So when Feyre lured her into that freaking Weaver cottage, I was like, you do what you need to do, Feyre. Fuck her up. And then the scene where he's just like, stay until the end. I was like, he's just a babby. The scene was the heart of a dreamer that had ceased beating inside that monstrous chest. And I put he was a part of the Court of Dreams because he was. The serial was a part of the Court of Dreams. You cannot debate me otherwise. And then there was that one scene where Feyre brings up the whole like Azriel thing where she's like, more. You just tempt Azriel and you don't even like actually do anything with him. And then I'm just like, why did she need to bring this up though? More just cares about Feyre's like she more was just asking about Pharaoh's well-being, and Pharaoh was just like, get out of my face. At least I don't try to tempt my best friend Azriel and like lead him on for centuries. And more is like, you're about to out me and you don't even realize. And then I got to this part, it's a few chapters later, and I was just like, Tamlin did what? When Tamlin saves Pharaoh, I was like, what is going on? What is happening right now? This does not make any sense. And then the moment she starts to fly, I put, I believe I can fly. And then the king barked a command, and a barrage of arrows arched up from the camp and rained down upon us. And I put rain on me. And then she had to get to the Ouroboros, and she said 1,000 stairs stood between me and the Ouroboros. I'm like, how badly do these people need saving? 1,000 steps? Challenge of the mind or of the physical strength?